I've been free for exactly 2 days, 12 hours and 23 minutes. I'm counting every second, not because I want to, but because I have to. Each tick of the clock feels like a gift wrapped in razor wire, a fleeting taste of freedom poisoned by the truth gnawing at my soul. I know something no one else does, something I can't spit out, no matter how much it chokes me. I'm standing on the edge of a nightmare, and it's not over yet. It's only just begun. They say I was locked away for 3 years. That's what the doctors pieced together from my blood work. 3 years of my life swallowed by a black hole. Down there, in that basement, time didn't exist. No windows, no sunlight, just the endless drip, drip, drip of a busted pipe, leaking God knows what into a puddle that never dried. That sound, it drilled into my skull, a watery heartbeat counting down to nothing. I'd lie there on a rotting mattress, staring at the dark, counting those drips, hundreds, thousands, until my mind started to unravel, thread by thread. I don't know who I used to be. That's the worst part. I know I had a name once, a life, people who cared. I'd whisper it to myself in the beginning, clinging to it like a lifeline. My name, my address, my dad's voice yelling at me to take out the trash. But he hated that. He'd hear me muttering in the dark, and it'd set him off. "You're nothing," he'd roar, his voice thick with rage, slamming his fists into my head, my face, my temples, over and over until the world spun red and black. "You're mine now, no one else." The doctors say my skull's a road map of old fractures, healed wrong, and my brain's a mess of scars where memories used to live. They call it trauma. I call it erasure. The cops keep asking questions I can't answer. Who were you? Where'd you come from? Did you have a family? All I've got is this one jagged memory. Me, standing outside a grocery store, Trader Joe's I think, fumbling with a paper bag as the handle rips, apples rolling into the wet pavement. It was raining, a soft drizzle, and I remember thinking I should have brought a jacket. Then, a hand over my mouth, a sack over my head, the sharp sting of chemicals burning my lungs. Next thing I knew, I was there, that room. Concrete walls, slick with stains I didn't want to name, rust, mold, something darker. A mattress so thin it might as well have been a sheet, soaked in mildew and misery. A bucket in the corner he'd only empty when the smell got so bad it crawled up his nose too. A single bulb dangled from the ceiling, flickering on and off whenever he felt like it, shredding any sense of time I tried to hold on to. I screamed myself raw that first month, pounding at the door until my knuckles split open, leaving bloody smears in the wood. I begged for death, for rescue, anything. No one answered. He never gave me his name. For years, I didn't even see his face, just masks. At first, it was a cheap white medical mask, like something a doctor would wear. Then they got weirder, a snarling wolf, a grinning cartoon pig, and the worst, a Mickey Mouse mask, its big black eyes staring down at me on the days he'd teach me a lesson. I won't tell you what he did. I can't. The pain, the humiliation, it's locked in a box in my head, and I've lost the key. All I'll say is he'd call me his blank slate, his work of art, ranting about how lucky I was to be nothing, to be his. One time he starved me for 2 weeks, nothing but tepid water from a cracked cup. I started seeing things, shadows twisting on the walls, faces in the stains. When he finally tossed down a plate of cold, congealed noodles, I broke, I sobbed, kissed his boots, groveled like a dog. I'd have done anything for him then. I did do anything. It got routine after a while. The terror dulled into this heavy, suffocating fog. He'd bring me tattered books, old thrillers with missing pages, and sit there in a rusted folding chair, making me read aloud while he barked corrections if I stumbled over a word. Sometimes he'd leave a radio spitting static and fire and brimstone sermons. Those preachers' voices wormed into my brain, blending with the drip, 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 until I couldn't tell what was real anymore. Winter came, I felt it in the icy bite of the concrete, and he'd drag down a heater, but only if I'd earned it. I taught myself to stop shivering, to bury the cold so deep he wouldn't see it. I learned how to survive in ways that haunt me still. By year 2, I stopped talking. Why bother? Silence was my shield, and it drove him nuts. He'd scream, shake me, slam me against the wall, but I was gone, curled up inside myself, watching this hollowed-out shell of a guy from somewhere far away. The worst was when he'd play nice, a warm blanket, a rough hand cleaning the oozing sores on my legs, his voice reading me to sleep. It twisted me up, made me doubt everything. The shrink later called it Stockholm Syndrome. I call it a mind trap. Then 2 days ago, everything changed. He came stumbling down the stairs. No calm, measured steps this time, just chaos. No mask either. And his face, God, his face. It wasn't right. It was skin, human skin, stretched tight, but no eyes, no mouth, no nose, nothing. Just a smooth, blank void staring at me. My stomach lurched, bile clawing up my throat. "Time's up," he said, jabbing a needle into my arm before I could scream. As the world faded, I heard the door creak open again, shuffling, a stifled sob. Someone new. "Your replacement's here," he hissed in my ear. I woke up on a park bench, 20 miles from that hellhole. They call me John Doe now. The cops are stumped. I can't give them anything useful. I saw his face, but how do you describe that? A blank slate, just like he called me. But his voice, that's burned into me. The way it'd go soft right before he'd hurt me. The faint lisp on S sounds. The wet smack of his lips when he'd lean in close to whisper his plans. My brain's a shredded quilt, the neurologist says. Trauma carved out my past to keep me alive. I still feel those phantom punches sometimes. My ears ringing like a bell that won't stop. Last night in the hospital, I heard it on the TV. A 19-year-old guy vanished outside a Trader Joe's, one town over. Same store, same rain-soaked parking lot. I should tell the police. I should save him. But I can't move, can't speak, because when he let me go, after I heard his cries echoing down those stairs, he grabbed my face so hard I felt my teeth shift. "You're free," he whispered, his breath rancid, "but you stay quiet. One word, one sketch," and I slit his throat, while he listens to your voice begging me to do it. He'll die thinking you're the monster. He showed me a phone, my voice, recorded over years, my screams, my pleas, me reading Frankenstein until my throat bled. "He knows all about you," he said, giddy. "Thinks you're my partner, out grabbing supplies. He's waiting for you to come back, just like you waited." Then, as he shoved me out, he added, "This is just a break. I'll come for you again. And if you talk, his blood's on you." This morning, in my discharge papers, I found it. A note on Mickey Mouse paper. "Miss you already. The new guy's boring. He keeps asking for you. Told him you'd be back soon to help me break him. Tick-tock." Tucked inside was a USB drive. I plugged it into a library computer, hands shaking. One file, 10 seconds of video. A guy, blindfolded, gagged, curled up in my corner of that basement. Timestamp, 4 hours ago. In the background, my voice, patched together. "Don't worry, I'll be back soon. We're gonna have fun. 2 days, 12 hours, 23 minutes free." But I'm not free. He's not free. And he's out there waiting. Tick-tock.